It started on Route 74, a stretch of road no one in Harlow County liked to drive at night. Too many deer, too many accidents, too much fog. It was around 11:30 p.m. when Danny Miller saw her, standing alone on the gravel shoulder with her thumb out, wearing a pale blue dress that fluttered even though the air was still. She couldn't have been older than 16. Her skin looked like porcelain, her eyes reflective like two marbles dipped in water. He slowed down, rolled the window. "You lost." She nodded once. No expression, no fear. Danny opened the passenger door. "Hop in." "Where you headed?" She slid in, quiet as a shadow. "Nowhere," she whispered. He laughed, trying to play it off. "Well, that's funny. I've been there." Not much to see. No response. She didn't talk the rest of the drive, just stared out the window. When he reached the turnoff for Granton Hollow, a place that hadn't had living residents in 40 years, she tapped the glass. "Here." "But there's nothing," he started. She opened the door before the truck stopped, stepped out barefoot, and walked into the trees. And that should have been the end of it. Danny didn't sleep well that night. Kept thinking about her face, pale, like the moon. Her hands were cold when she touched the dashboard, freezing cold. The next night, he drove the same road, half thinking he might see her again. And he did. Same spot, same dress, same expression. He braked hard. "No way," he muttered. She got in again, wordless. "You sure you're not messing with me?" he asked, his voice a little higher than before. She just looked at him. Those glassy eyes didn't blink. Again, she asked to be dropped at Granton Hollow. Again, she walked into the woods and disappeared. Only this time, when Danny looked in the rearview mirror, she was still standing at the tree line, watching. Danny asked around about her. No one had seen a girl matching her description. Sheriff Weller said she sounded like just another night ghost, a joke among locals, meant to keep kids from joyriding after dark. But Danny wasn't laughing. He stopped going to work. His eyes grew hollow. His mom said he looked like he hadn't slept in a week, because every night, she was there, waiting. And every night, he drove her. He tried not to, took different routes, blocked off 74 from his maps. Didn't matter. She found him. He'd be driving in town and look up. There she'd be, walking past the gas station, sitting on a bench near the pharmacy. Always with that look, sad, distant, hollow, the look of someone whose name had been taken and memory scraped clean. One night, he lost it, pulled over on the highway, got out, slammed the door. "Who the hell are you?" he shouted. She looked at him, didn't blink. He stormed around the truck, grabbed her arm. "You got parents, a phone, a damn heartbeat." She whispered. "They forgot me." "What?" "They forgot me," she repeated. "Then the road remembered. So now it brings me back." Danny's blood went cold. "You're not real," he said. She smiled faintly, then stopped driving. He didn't. He couldn't. His room filled with Polaroids of her, taken from behind curtains, from the street, from the gas station. But when he showed them to people, they saw nothing. Just roads, just trees, just an empty seat. He played the radio one night and heard her voice between songs, breathy, saying his name. When he unplugged the stereo, she turned to him from the passenger seat. "You can't tune me out," she said. He started sleeping in the truck, driving all night, afraid that if he ever stopped, she'd climb out and into his house, into his bed, into his life. One morning, his mother called the police. Danny hadn't been home in 3 days. They found his truck in the Granton woods, engine cold, headlights off, driver's door wide open. No sign of Danny, but the passenger seat was warm, and there were fingerprints, tiny, perfect fingerprints, on the inside of the glass. The sheriff swore he heard breathing when he opened the door, but there was no one around. Just wind, just silence. 2 weeks later, a teenager named Cal picked up a girl on Route 74. Same dress, same eyes, same answer. "Where you headed?" "Nowhere." He laughed. "Me too." Nathan Bowers was 11 when he found the bell. He wasn't looking for it, not really. He was hiding again, behind the old gym where the weeds grew tall and the earth was soft. Hiding from Jared and his idiot friends, who thought it was funny to trip him in the cafeteria and dump milk on his sketchbooks. Hiding from Mr. Greeley, who smelled like coffee and said things like "man up" too often. And maybe hiding from the echo of a girl's laugh that didn't exist anymore. That day, Nathan's fingers brushed against cold metal beneath the dirt. It wasn't big, maybe the size of a plum, but it was heavy, tarnished, and etched with symbols he didn't recognize. Its handle was twisted, almost bone-like. The ringer inside was intact. He brushed it clean with his sleeve and rang it once. Ding! The sound was wrong, hollow, like it came from far underground. He didn't know it yet, but a man named Curtis Doyle died at that exact moment. Fell off a ladder while cleaning gutters 3 blocks away. Snapped his neck. His sister had been dead 6 months. Car crash. Mom driving. Rain on the windshield like blood splatter. He hadn't heard her voice since the funeral, but in the dream, she was standing in his room, smiling. She didn't say anything, just watched him, the way she used to when he was scared of storms. Her hair was wet, clinging to her shoulders. He woke up crying, and the bell was sitting on his nightstand. He was sure he'd left it in his backpack. Over the next week, Nathan rang the bell again, sometimes on purpose, sometimes by accident. Every time, someone died. An old man had a heart attack at the grocery store. A dog was hit by a snowplow. A kid in the grade above Nathan fell through the ice at Wickerman Pond. But after each death, Emma came closer. She started whispering in the dreams. Nate, I'm cold. Nate, almost there. Nate, one more. He should have been terrified, but he wasn't, because she was coming back. Nathan started experimenting. He rang it during class. That afternoon, Miss Kelly collapsed at her desk, dead before the paramedics arrived. He rang it in the basement. A neighbor boy fell from a tree and broke his spine. The newspaper started calling it the curse of Harlow. People whispered about a string of unexplained tragedies. The school closed early. Church bells rang every day for funerals, and Nathan kept ringing. Each time, Emma's voice grew clearer. Her body became more solid in the dreams. He could feel her breath. He could smell the shampoo she used. And one night, she said, 2 more. Nathan stopped going to school. He spent his time in the attic with the bell, drawing pictures of Emma, waiting for the sun to fall. He wasn't eating. He wasn't speaking. And the bell, God, the bell, was growing louder. Sometimes it rang on its own, even when he wasn't holding it. One night, it rang in his sleep. His mother died in her bed from a stroke. The funeral was small. No music. Just Emma, standing beside the casket, whispering, 1 more. Emma stayed. Sort of. She didn't eat, didn't blink, didn't leave footprints. Nathan kept her in the basement, said she was recovering, but the dog wouldn't go near the stairs. Neighbors noticed the smell. And Nathan, he stopped speaking altogether. When the principal and a police officer came to do a welfare check, they found the front door open. The kitchen was empty. The bell sat on the table, still ringing, over and over. And from the basement came the sound of something chewing. Harlow's population never recovered. Too many deaths, too many disappearances. They bulldozed the school eventually, turned it into a parking lot. But sometimes, late at night, people hear a single ding in the air, soft, metallic, and children still dream of a girl named Emma, standing at the foot of their bed, her mouth too wide, her smile too sharp, asking softly, "Can I come in?"